on the Newstrack now, a new chief minister taking over in Punjab, and a Dalit Sikh, Charanjit Singh Channi, picked by the Gandhi siblings to represent the Punjab Congress as chief minister for a few months ahead of the elections. But when Harish Rawat said that it will be Navjot Singh Sidhu as party chief who will be the face for the elections, that led to a huge storm. Lots of fighting from within and on the outside. The likes of Jakhar taking pot shots at the Gandhi family and the Congress leadership for taking a decision. And ultimately, after having installed a Dalit Sikh as chief minister, how easy or difficult will it be for the party to change him, unseat him, especially if he manages to take the party to power? So you've got a new chief minister, but there's a lot building around this. Here's the story.
The man handpicked by the Gandhis to end Congress Punjab implosion. But Charanjit Singh Channi got a taste of the notorious infighting on the very first day. A massive row erupting after it emerged that the Dalit figure may just be a mask, and the Navjot Singh Sidhu the real face for the Congress party. After this revelation by Sonia Gandhi's aide,
मुख्यमंत्री मंत्रिमंडल के साथ ही सब प्रदेश कांग्रेस कमेटी के नेतृत्व में चुनाव लड़ेंगे, आगे बढ़ेंगे। और प्रदेश कांग्रेस कमेटी के अध्यक्ष श्री सिद्धू हैं, जिनकी लोकप्रियता बहुत अधिक है।
The statement immediately sparking a fresh bout of Congress infighting. Former State Chief Sunil Jakhar said the statement reduces Channi to a lame duck chief minister who is merely a rubber stamp. Jakhar, who lost out in the chief minister race after Congress decided not to go with a Hindu name, openly attacked the top Congress leadership, questioning the rationale of using religion as benchmark for the chief minister pick. He called the Congress brass petty-minded, small people in high places for insulting Sikhism's harmony message.
It does seem that you don't seem to be happy with what the High Command has taken a decision on. Is there a problem with Navjot Sidhu as a CM face in the upcoming elections?
I think you have been reading something which does not exist on the tweet. Neither on the first tweet you are referring to or to the other one. I have raised certain concerns as a congressman.
Congress appeared split over who will be its 2022 election face.
संगठन के प्रमुख और मुखिया सरदार नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू हैं। कांग्रेस की सरकार के मुखिया और चेहरे सरदार चरणजीत सिंह चन्नी हैं। और ये दोनों हमारे मित्र पंजाब का चुनाव मिलकर लड़ेंगे।
सिर्फ ये एक प्रेसिडेंट और सीएम की बात नहीं है, इसके पीछे बहुत एक जबरदस्त एक मुहिम चलती है जिसमें सीनियर लीडर इन्वॉल्व होते हैं। ये मैं किसी का नाम नहीं लेना चाहता, बहुत खतरनाक रोल दिल्ली से प्ले होना शुरू हो जाता है।
BSP chief Mayawati, who in alliance with the Akalis is eyeing the backward class votes, called it a Congress election time stunt to hoodwink the Dalits.
इनको व अन्य विरोधी पार्टियों को भी मुसीबत में ही या फिर मजबूरी में ही दलित वर्ग के लोग केवल इन्हें याद आते हैं।
Congress's Punjab woes do not end there. Sulking former Chief Minister Captain Amrinder Singh stayed away from the oath ceremony, signalling that the war of Sardars is not over yet.
For now, it seems there is a correctional statement which has been given by Harish Rawat, but it also means that in the upcoming times ahead, there has to be a clear point where the High Command has to ensure that the warring factions make peace with each other and they themselves do not aggravate the fight. With camera person Pawan, this is Charanjit Singh in Chandigarh for India Today.
So Punjab now has a new chief minister, but there are just a few months to go before the next big assembly elections in the state. Will having a Dalit chief minister help the Punjab Congress in the polls, or will this infighting and the fact that you now have Captain Amrinder Singh, who's clearly seething and wanting to exact his pound of flesh, Could this damage the Congress even further? Joining me on this broadcast, Prince Khullar, spokesperson from the Punjab Congress. Raghav Chadda is leading the AAP campaign in Punjab. Harmeet Singh Shah, senior editor, India Today, understands Punjab politics the best in our newsroom. I want to go across to Prince Khullar first, because we saw from the likes of Sunil Jakhar within the Congress in Punjab, you know, the moment you said that actually the elections will be fought under the leadership of Navjot Singh Sidhu, others are saying you've appointed a Dalit Sikh chief minister, you don't have the confidence in his ability to lead you to power, which is why you want someone like a Navjot Singh Sidhu, who's a Jat Sikh, to lead you. And instead of this helping you consolidate the Dalit Sikh votes or the Dalit votes in Punjab, which is about 32% odd, it could cause even greater problem in the weeks and months to come. Why do you think this is a good idea, Prince Khullar?
हेलो
Yes.
राहुल जी, आपकी आवाज ब्रेक हो रही है, मैं सुन नहीं पाया, प्लीज जरा रिपीट करेंगे।
मेरा सवाल ये था कि हमने देखा कि किस तरीके से पार्टी के भीतर ही बयान आ रहे हैं कि अगर आपने एक दलित सिख को बनाया, लेकिन आप कह रहे हैं कि एक जट सिख नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू अगले चुनाव में आपकी पार्टी का चेहरा होगा, तो ये एक मैसेज भेजता है कि पार्टी को एक दलित सिख की लीडरशिप में कॉन्फिडेंस है नहीं, कि आपने बना भी दिया उनको चीफ मिनिस्टर, लेकिन चुनाव आप लड़ेंगे नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू के साथ, तो इस पूरे विवाद को खत्म करने के बजाय हो सकता है कि इससे विवाद और बढ़ जाए।
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं राहुल जी, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। उन्होंने जो स्टेटमेंट दी है, हमें बिल्कुल पूरा विश्वास है, हाईकमान ने सारा कुछ देख के ही सोच समझ के फैसला लिया है, जो मुख्यमंत्री जी का चयन किया गया है। और दूसरा जो है, हरीश रावत जी ने आपने एक चला दिया कि नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू के अंडर लड़ेंगे, बाद में उन्होंने ये स्पष्ट किया है कि जो हमारे दोनों ही लीडर हैं, जो दलित सीएम जो हमारे माननीय मुख्यमंत्री चन्नी जी और नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू के साथ, और सारी पार्टी यूनाइट होकर 2022 की इलेक्शन लड़ेगी और विधानसभा चुनाव जीतेगी। कोई ऐसा ये बात नहीं है कि जी उसको छोड़ के देखना कि उन पे विश्वास नहीं है। अगर विश्वास ना होता तो फिर बनाते क्यों?
Raghav Chadda, if this works out for the Congress, it could potentially end up well, because you've now got a Dalit Sikh as chief minister. This could potentially help consolidate the 30% plus Dalit votes. It also ensures that Navjot Singh Sidhu isn't chief minister, so Captain Amrinder Singh doesn't rebel openly. Navjot Singh Sidhu is still interested, so he'll still lead the party. Net, given how badly things were blowing up for the Congress, you know, this may not end up a worst case scenario. Do you think the Congress may be able to salvage the situation and therefore pose a greater threat to you and increase their chances of re-election?
Look, first of all, Rahul, all throughout yesterday, we were given to understand that after doing the electoral math, the Congress High Command is going to appoint a Hindu chief minister in a Sikh state. They didn't do that. Then they decided that let's make Jat Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa the CM. Then they didn't do that. And they finally chose a Dalit. So they have in the process, I would say, antagonized big communities within Punjab if they were to simply just do this dirty, ugly musical chairs. That's point number one. Point number two, you see this communal politics, this divisive politics goes against the very grain of Punjab, Punjabi and Punjabiyat. You understand the state well enough. BSP, let's take the example of BSP. BSP is a political party that had its birth in Punjab. Kashi Ramji himself comes from Punjab. But BSP is a non-entity in Punjab because that type of politics doesn't work in Punjab. They had to shift base to Uttar Pradesh and do politics in UP, but they couldn't succeed in Punjab. In fact, Mayawati herself lost her own election in Punjab because Punjab doesn't vote on these lines. Punjab is a multicultural, inclusive society. That's point number one, which I think the Congress High Command or the Gandhi siblings don't seem to understand. Number two, this symbolism, this tokenism can only take you this far. The cat is already out of the bag. The Congress has started making noises that he is only a caretaker chief minister. He is only a ceremonial chief minister. And all the Congress party is currently going to do is make political announcements in the next 90 days, because after that, the model code of conduct will kick in. So it's only a ceremonial post to make Chunavi announcements, play Chunavi stunts in the run-up to the election. That's point number one. Point number two, the concerned gentleman, who I would also like to congratulate, who's become the chief minister, and I would wish him well in his limited tenure that he has. But let me say this, he was also a minister in the Captain Amrinder government. He was the Minister for Technical Education. If he had the will and the inclination to actually work for the welfare of Punjab, what stopped him from working? What did these people do in the last 4.5 years? Rahul, you need to understand that the people of Punjab have now made up their mind to change the ship, not merely the captain of the ship. Just by removing captain and hoping that, oh, he will take away all the anti-incumbency and we can install a fresh face and woo 31% of the electorate and also send a signal that, look, we mean business, etc., is not going to work in a state like Punjab. People have seen perhaps the most nikammi sarkar in the last 4.5 years of the Congress tenure. People didn't vote for the Akali Dal last time simply because the Akalis looted the state. They didn't leave anything from Reta Bajri to cable TV. Mafia Raj was writ large. And therefore, the Akali Dal was voted out. What you have now is that people pinned their hopes on the Congress party, and the Congress party has royally betrayed the people of Punjab. Number two, if symbolism and tokenism is of any consequence in Punjab politics, the leader of opposition of the Aam Aadmi Party is a Dalit. The deputy leader of opposition of the Aam Aadmi Party is also a Dalit. Harpal Singh Chima Sahib and Madam Sarabjit Manuke. Now, I can go on and on about expressing the tokenism and symbolism that the Congress wants to discuss. But as far as we are concerned, we work for the community. We work for their welfare. We feel for them. And we believe that Punjab and the ethos of Punjab have, is a very inclusive and a multicultural society. This sort of communal musical chairs goes against the very grain of Punjab.
What kind of Chief Minister is Charanjit Singh Channi likely to make? To what extent does this help the Congress deal with anti-incumbency? How is Captain Amrinder Singh likely to take this?
You see, Rahul, one thing is there that so far as Raghav Chadha is concerned, he's okay in saying that yes, Punjab doesn't vote on communal lines, but at the same time, the caste factor plays a very big role in Punjab. So far as Channi is concerned, he belongs to the Ramdasiya community that we all know, and let's not forget that Punjab has the highest concentration of Dalit population, which is 32%. Now, if you see the data here, you have 32% Dalits, you have 19%, almost 19% of Jat Sikhs, and then the overall population, there is almost 40% of Hindu population there. What's if Channi goes, I mean, this is high on symbolism, no doubt, that appointing a Dalit Chief Minister for the very first time in the history of state. At the same time, when the problem lies now with the Hindu votes, and there I see Captain Amrinder Singh competent enough to upset the apple cart. What happened with Aam Aadmi Party in 2017, where there was a lot of fear psychosis created among the Hindu population, the same thing might happen this time, because given the kind of statements that Captain Amrinder Singh is giving here in Delhi to the media, to the national media, it's quite there is a chance that Hindu vote might eventually slip away from the Congress fold into the jholi of Aam Aadmi Party this time around.
And that Prince Kuller is the risk, because जैसे जैसे अमरिंदर सिंह बोल रहे हैं कि सिद्धू एंटी नेशनल है, सिद्धू आपकी पार्टी का चेहरा होगा, हमने 2017 के चुनाव में भी देखा, उस वक्त आपको नुकसान हुआ. इस वक्त अगर ये धारणा पंजाब भर में फैल गई कि कैप्टन अमरिंदर सिंह को ये लग रहा है, जो बहुत बड़े देशभक्त हैं, राष्ट्रभक्त हैं, कि नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू एंटी नेशनल हैं और आईएसआई के चीफ से जाके गले लगते हैं, तो फिर ये बहुत नुकसान आपकी पार्टी को पहुंचा सकता है पंजाब इलेक्शंस में.
नहीं राहुल जी, देखिए पहले तो चड्ढा साहब ने बात करी है. देखिए पहले तो हमने ये कभी नहीं कहा कि हम कोई यहाँ पे जात पात की राजनीति कर रहे हैं कि दलित सीएम बनाना या हिंदू को लाना, कोई ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. हम सेकुलर पार्टी है कांग्रेस, और हर एक आम वर्कर को यहाँ पे मान सम्मान मिलता है. चड्ढा जी को अगर इतनी फिक्र है तो इन्होंने अब तक क्यों अपना अनाउंसमेंट नहीं की सीएम फेस की? करे ना, ये तो बातें ही कर रहे हैं. इनके जो भगवंत मान इनसे मुंह फुला के बैठे हैं, घर से नहीं निकल रहे, करें अनाउंस, उनको करते क्यों नहीं? और ये जो बाकी की बातें जो कैप्टन साहब ने
Okay, that's an important point that you make, and I want Raghav Chadha to respond to it. that आप दूसरों की problems तो गिना रहे हो बड़े मजे से, which is correct. But many of your MLAs have left to join the Congress. Your own prominent face is reputed for being for having a very serious alcohol problem and isn't available at many times in the day because he simply can't show up. So the Aam Aadmi Party, yes, the Congress has its problems. The Aam Aadmi Party has been deeply weakened. Many of your leaders since 2017 to now have left. Raghav Chadha, final words, please.
Well, those who have left, I can only say, and I previously commented on this, Rahul, that one man's trash is another man's treasure. They were essentially trash for us. They're probably treasure for the Congress. Let them cherish and enjoy them. As far as the Aam Aadmi Party's announcements are concerned, Khullar Sahab, meri party ka kaam mujh pe chhod dijiye. We will handle it very well. We will make an announcement very soon. And you will be certainly rattled when the announcement is made. But let me tell you that what is happening in Punjab currently, Rahul, is that both these forces seem to be completely discredited. Akali Dal was previously discredited and continues to, enjoy the hatred among the people of Punjab. And as far as the Congress is concerned, Congress has run perhaps the most non-performing government, where you had a chief minister who said, my cabinet is corrupt. You have the cabinet who says the chief minister is non-performing. And in a cabinet form of government, in which there is collective responsibility, all ministers of the Captain Amrinder Singh government, including the former minister Navjot Singh Sidhu and the current chief minister Charanjit Singh Channi, have miserably and royally failed the people of Punjab. This communal mindset will never fly in Punjab. Anyone who remotely understands the politics of of Punjab would advise you to go against it. Punjab is an extremely inclusive society. Hindus in Punjab go to gurdwaras, go to temples. Sikhs in Punjab go to temples, go to gurdwaras. And you play this dirty communal politics in a border state like Punjab, you are messing with Punjab, you are messing with national security. Do not do that. And as far as the statements made by Captain Amrinder are concerned vis-a-vis Sidhu, they are certainly a concern. They are a concern because you have the chief minister. Just let me speak. Let me speak. Calm down. Rahul, you have to get in control of the show. He needs to.
Okay. So I'm out of time. No, Mr. Khullar, let Raghav finish. Raghav, please hurry. I'm out of time.
I'm saying, when Captain Amrinder says that my former minister Navjot Singh Sidhu was a non-performer, that is fine. If the world knows that he's nothing but a drama queen. I have previously called him Rakhi Sawant of Punjab politics. But as far as Captain Amrinder's statement regarding Sidhu's anti-national credentials are concerned, they are certainly a concern. Concern not just for me, concern for the people of Punjab.
Okay, and that could hurt the Congress quite badly, because if this whole spectre of Navjot Singh Sidhu being presented as a man who's in love with the Pakistanis and could potentially imperil national security in a border state, that could be one of the factors we'll track in the Punjab elections. I'm slipping into a break. I'll have more for you on the other side. Stay with us. We're back in a moment.